supposed to do the moderation now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, a very warm welcome to all you wonderful listeners of Universal Mentors Association Digital Education Summit and Awards. We are now going towards the panel four. Half of the day has completed in terms of panel discussions. The rest half is there. The fourth panel discussion, a very, very important topic, talking about role of artificial intelligence and fostering online assessments in higher education. It is a really, really important topic that we're discussing, and we have some amazing stalwarts of our higher education sector to discuss this important panel. Introducing first, Dr. Davinder Narain, who is the Director Corporate Relations, Shobit University. He will also be the moderator of this session. We'll soon be joined by Dr. Tabkeshwar Kumar, who's the Vice Chancellor of Central University of Haryana. We have with us Dr. S.S. Prasad Rao, who's the Director TLC Sharda University. We have with us Dr. T. Shashi Prabha, who's the Vice Chancellor of Satyabhama Institute of Science and Technology. Dr. Bhanu Pratap Singh, the Vice Chancellor of Maharishi University of Information Technology. We'll also be joined by Dr. Ankit Gandhi, who's the Pro Vice Chancellor of University of Technology, Jaipur. So Devinder sir, I would request you to please take this session away. It is a really, really important session. I think a couple of speakers will be joining in during our talk. So please accommodate them during the session.
Thank you, Mr. Sandeep. Thank you very much for introducing all of us. Yes, this topic is really very relevant and important, at least in the today's scenario. We all know that artificial intelligence, although it is not new for a corporate world, but yes, for education, especially in higher education, this pandemic given give a boost to this particular segment, that we are bound to use it for the betterment of and quality education to the students. Although topic is more about the online assessment, but I would like that if we can talk about as a holistic, because we know that now it's going to be part of the higher education like any other thing. So I can start this discussion, and I request all the panelists to please, because it's a 30 minutes, so we request all the panelists to please take care of the time. It is very important for all of us. And I have certain questions in my mind before I go talk about this. So I request, in fact, Dr. Rao. Dr. Rao.
Yeah.
How do you...
Devindraji.
Hello.
Yeah, Devindraji, I'm ready.
Okay. Dr. Rao, I just want to understand from you that as a holistic approach, what is your view on a use of agriculture, this artificial intelligence in the higher education?
Yeah. First of all, I thank the organizers for giving and making me part of this wonderful opportunity. And thank you, Devindraji, for actually putting a very relevant question. Instead of confining to only assessment, we need to talk about the relevance of the concept artificial intelligence. See, whether we accept or reject, but this is the fact. Anyone who is informed about global trends across different industries will know that personalization is the top priority. This is due to the advent of artificial intelligence, because everybody wants to get personal attention, personalized benefit, personalized advantage. So, which is an advantage for the education sector also. AI helps teachers up their game, providing them all the information that they need. It also allows teachers to create content that suits to their students best while ensuring personalized learning. Because one of the research studies revealed that 31% of the teacher's task is administrative or clerical or redundant or repetitive. That kind of repetitive tasks can be minimized if we use the technology. So technology is very important. That the AI is very much useful. I believe it should be implemented and we can take advantage of that. Of course, there are some chances, there are some disadvantages, and there are some challenges, I say. Recently, when the pandemic started, people, migrated from offline to online. But, several challenges. First of all, they have postponed examinations. And we cannot postpone conducting of examinations and delaying the granting of certificates or degrees. So people immediately rush to the AI proctored, method of examinations, conducting examinations. And though that was a necessity at that time, now it is made mandatory, and students also are actually asking for this kind of thing. Though the students initially got the advantage, but now they cannot do that because AI is entering into every aspect of the evaluation process and the examination system. So I believe we need to use the technology and we need to minimize the drawbacks of using this technology. The major limitation I would like to mention here, the infrastructure is built, the technology is ready, the software is ready, the hardware is ready, but the hardware is not fully available. That's what I put it in. Digital infrastructure is a challenge. We need to see that the digital infrastructure also is in place so that they can meet the challenges posed by the technology and the needs of the academic institutions. So digital infrastructure is the top priority one should focus. Like the software companies, provided the data, the devices. Of course, they are all employees and they are providing, but we are not able to provide the same facility to the students. And the parents also not in a position to invest that much money. Even today, around 60% of the population live in villages. And there are so many number of colleges, so many universities, so many academic institutions, starting from pre-primary to postgraduate or postdoctoral courses. So I believe that digital infrastructure is very important for making any technology viable, feasible, and resourceful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rao, to giving us a pace to start this thing. And you talk about the proctored examination. Fine. This give a question to me that to Dr. Takeshwar sir, if you are online, sir.
Yes, I am
Namaskar,
online,
sir. Sir, namaskar.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Sir, I specifically want to ask this question from you. What challenges we are going to face if we talk about the artificial intelligence in higher education and in particular in assessment system?
Okay, sir. Yeah, first of all, I thank for inviting me to be part of this. Yeah, it's a, as said by previous speaker, the challenge was class examining the students. It was a challenge, but we have learned a lot of things, and we have as you asked, that we have the proctored examination also using the artificial intelligence. Yes, the online, as far as learning is concerned, that these tools are really wonderful. These tools are really wonderful and can add up. I will not say it can replace the things because of whatever we have the interaction with the students one-to-one that is really important. But these things can add up to our learning, and we can independently learn out of what we achieve otherwise through the classes. So, but if I look at the examination, it is a big challenge. It is a big challenge when we say it is to be done online, because we are not, as said, we are not having fully a system where you can really make the assessment to be done. Because if we look for the proctored examinations, there we go for the multiple choice questions, and those multiple choice questions are not, are all about the, learning. You cannot assess the learning only through the multiple choice questions. That is not true, especially when we're talking that we have taught somebody for 1 year and we are putting them under MCQ and asking. So the MCQ through the online mode is not good enough. And if we look at through the other mode, then you have a problem in let's say even if you use the artificial intelligence, then that also fails. That also fails. We have seen that if you just use the software, the artificial intelligence, then you will find that the 40% of the test will be failed. That means you will be find that the 40% students are under UMC kind of thing, right? UMC kind of thing. They are unfair means. You can see that they may be looking at somewhere else. They may be looking at some other side or that side, but that may not be actual one. That may not be the actual UMC. Right? That's very difficult to judge it from a person. Look at the person. That maybe if he's thinking, he may see towards the sun or maybe towards somewhere else. So then the thinking itself, the artificial intelligence fails there. But we know that out of the 40%, still maybe the 50% of those 40% still may be involved in UMCs, right? But that is the thing which is happening. And if you go for the long answer sheets, long question, and you should have the long answers questions, then it almost failed. It almost failed. We are not able to see that the person is able to what is written in front of it. We have a camera. We have a camera which you can see only the one side of the thing. We can see the only one side of thing. We have taken a innovative step by putting a mirror on the back side of the candidate. That means we could see what is there in the front. That is the kind of thing we have to do. That is the kind of mechanical thing we do. But that I mean is that we are not having 360-degree vision of what is happening in the online assessment. So I say that teaching, as far as teaching is concerned, learning is concerned, online method can add up something to our learning. But if you look at the assessment part is not up to the mark. That we are not having. It's not that we are not having the. It is not well. I think we are not well with the having online assessment. Whatever the way, there will be always be kind of a cheating kind of thing will be there, and we should go for really for the offline assessments, because for example there are people who are going for this MCQ. They were just forgotten how to really write on the notebooks, how to write on these write long answers. There's difficult really to assess the people through online mode, whether you are using artificial intelligence or the other tools which can help you to make to see that they are not doing the unfair means. So I think I can take up this question again if we have another members to discuss.
Thank you very much. I'll come back to you, sir. And you rightly said that with AI used in assessment, we are not able to check or judge the actual learning of individual. You're absolutely right. Dr. Sasi Prabha, my humble question from you is that, as Dr. Saab rightly said, that we are not able to access the learning process of an individual if we go for an artificial intelligence using an assessment system. One more question comes in my mind, and you need to tell me more on that. Somewhere I feel personally that this proctored system, because I mean, confusing a fair student or making him that he start thinking that unnecessarily he may come in the frame of cheating, because the proctor system say that they always want your eye contact with the camera. You cannot move here and there. There should not be any other person in the room. These kind of things are there. I mean, these are the parameters they normally talks about the proctor system. So how do you feel that it's going to affect the students who are really studious, who really want, जिसके हम कहते हैं, who are actually intellectuals? What do you say on that?
Yeah, sorry. Good afternoon to all my co-panelists and the organizers and the participants. So the session here today is very, very interesting. And because we are all forced to follow this proctored-based examination during this pandemic, a lot of editor company has come out with new products, but it is not matured products. That's why we are getting these type of issues from the students. So once things become all right, or once they can able to produce a matured product in the sense, it should not show for wrong things, because sometimes the students, we ourselves are facing. I was sitting the system only, I didn't see anywhere, but still it has locked my examination. It's like that, the automatic locking and all is giving a lot of irritation to the students as well as to the parents. It's really troubling their parents also. Because they are not peaceful when the system is instructing the good student that you should not continue the examination. So this type of problems will be resolved only if you are getting a highly matured software solution. So because you all know the AI is still, it's an emerging one, it's in research, so a lot of developments are getting done, and we are trying to make the machine as intelligent as a human being. So there is no limit for that, but though a lot of algorithms are there in the market and there are a lot of products are there in the market, no products are not that much good as we are expecting or the students are expecting. But the proctored examination is not the only solution to solve or to assess the student. Okay, proctored examination is not the only solution. So nowadays, because of the outcome-based education, the institutions are following different assessment methodologies to assess the students. And this proctored examination is also getting a due weightage like 30% to 50% only. There are some institutions are their academic council is suggesting only 30%, let the questions be subjective. So remaining through objective type people are writing, and then through assessments people are assessing, and almost the learning is now happening through this project-based learning. So we are making the students to solve the problems, complex problems, real-time problems, and then we are assessing the students depending on the subjects. So the institutions are not totally believing this proctored examination, because we have other assessment tools also to assess the students. And even oral Viva is also sufficient to assess a student. So these type of mechanisms are there. So this proctored examination will get good weightage, but depending on the institution, this may vary. We in Satyabama, we are giving 50% weightage for this proctored examination, though we are facing a lot of issues. And at a day-to-day basis, we are trying to resolve the issues and trying to convince the students. But they also know, they also now understood why they are getting in between locking, all those things are happening. Now they also understood. But we are requesting the editor companies to come out with a proper solution to resolve all these issues. And as one of the speakers was mentioning about the 360-degree view is not there. So camera, only with the front camera, they could able to see and assess a student. And there are students, good students who are facing difficulty. There are students still they are able to cheat. This type of proctored solutions are also. And but this is not the only way of assessing. There are a lot of ways to assess the students, and better ways are there than this proctored examination. So assessment means we wanted to ensure that student has learned the subject. So that assessment we have lot of different methods to assess. So institutions and slowly divide their mark weightage to different kind of assessments, and then finally this can also contribute little, and then they can assess the students. This is my view. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Professor Singh.
Yeah.
Sir, country like ours, where we still have a lack of infrastructure. I mean, first of all, students are facing even attending the classes online. Do you feel that this assessment through using AI or online is really feasible and it's going to continue?
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to give me a time in this online talking about the artificial intelligence currently being used in higher education. As my co-speakers explaining very well, but if we talk about the India or our country, in that part, as we see in last 2.5 years, in that part, there is a demand of a time that anywhere in our evaluation system, in our assessment system, we have to cope up with this type of a assessment, because in future nobody knows what is the condition of a pandemic or what is going to be on that part. So in the part of a online education or in the part of online assessment system, it is a demand as a globally. We cannot excuse as a part of India that we are not taking, or there are number of disadvantages on that part. So we can, I think so, we can take as a our assessment system as a choice-based credit system in continuous assessment. In that part, we can adopt in our any assessment. It may be sessional assessment, but it is the time of a demand that we have to go with this type of a proctor examination, of online classes, online assessment system. It is necessary because in globally, if we don't such type of a system, or if we don't adopt such type of system in our higher education, we will be very behind in that part. So it is necessary, but there are a lot of problems in India to adopt it. It will make such time. It will make sometimes also, as earlier speakers are saying, there are a lot of unavailability of hardware, data, privacy, lack of basic IT skill in the faculty members and the students. There are a lot of challenges are with us, but in the same, we have to take this part in our evolution and education. It is necessary, because if we don't do so, we will be like our student also, because just like in globalization, any student go for the GRE or GMAT examination system or proctor examination system. If it is not familiar with this type of a system, it is very difficult to that part. So it is very necessary. We have to go with this type of a system, but there are some challenges. It will take time. It may be 5 to 10 years, but we will have to cope up with this type of a system also.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Professor Rao.
Yeah, Narayanji, I would like to answer to Tankeshwar sir's issue. He has raised a wonderful issue that a mirror should be there, like 360-degree evaluation should be there, proctored type of exam. Even that also is a miserably failure, sir, because the GRE, they conduct exam, this proctored model only. They ask the students to show the entire room with the mirror, the camera, everything, behind one mirror, and the front is the laptop camera, etc. But even then, there was a lot of, cases found, though they use the AI. That's why they have removed the GRE exam for admission into this kind of, admission into various MS courses across. Now they are considering maybe TOEFL or IELTS. So what I want to tell here is, whatever the technology we use, people are always there to cheat, because it is all, it is not personal, means it is impersonal. Impersonal means anything is possible. That is all depending on the integrity of the student integrity of the faculty, integrity of the institution. As Madam Shashi Prabhaji is saying, that we need to shift from year-end or semester-end pattern to continuous evaluation. Like various pedagogical tools we use for teaching and delivery of the content, we need to devise the various methods of assessing the performance of the students, not just simply evaluation, but assessment is more important, for which we can follow 100% continuous evaluation. You know, maybe oral interview, maybe small caselets and differential questions. Of course, there are, you know, people started giving MCQs, 3 sets of questions. And we do not know what kind of questions the students get. But even then, we see, sir, very sorry to say that one of the universities, the students, you know, came onto the road saying that we want online exam. See how people becoming lazy. The students are always like that. And they all want, you know, shortcuts. We teachers don't allow that. And we in the universities also cannot afford to do that, because we wish to give some kind of, you know, productive things to the students. And another important thing, another research finding also, last 2 years, there is a lot of learning lost. One side, the learning is lost. The other side, examination system is defective. The other thing, no student is switching on the video. Even oral presentation, like Madam Shashi Prabha is mentioning, that, you know, one-on-one interactive session also, the student saying, Madam, the data issue or connectivity issue, like that they are saying, and not switching on the videos. They have become that much, you know, efforts to switch on the videos and keep it on proper mode. That's why I'm focusing on the digital infrastructure is very important. The transparency is important, and proper education is important. We need to educate our own children, and we need to make them ready. Then only we can make it 100% professional. That's what I wanted to communicate, Narayanji.
Thank you, Mr. Rao, because I actually going to ask the same thing which you automatically responded to me. Kamekeshwar sir, see, we know there are 2 systems in the country. One is a government system of education, one is a private system of education.
Exactly.
Fine. And we have all sort of students with us. We have people who are able to, you know, manage the data. They are able to manage the all laptops and everything. And then otherwise, we are having students who are still, you know, fighting with the basic necessities. I'm again, although Professor Rao talk about this thing, but I'm asking with you that actually, and you already yourself said that a 360 degree of approach is required for that matter. I feel personally that you cannot stop cheating, that Professor Rao rightly said, because it's a question of ethics. And somewhere ethics to be taught by the parents as well as the teachers. But my question is that how, when we can, because teaching is with the physical system also, students are used to teaching when there's a physical system. So how do you find the future of online assessment in comparison to the physical examination in coming time to come?
Yeah, you have very rightly said that there is a, you know, still we can see that there is a cheating. There is cheating, and we know the cases when we have used to go to, you know, as a flying squad or things like that. We used to maybe out of the class of 60 students, we will find 20 people with those, you know, we call it parchi or whatever it is. So that, you know, cheating is there, and that is there in the offline examination. But, you know, the examination was itself was a real kind of examination when the students are, you know, addressing the questions. At least good students were able to, you know, were being assessed properly, right? That is what I see. Even if you do, I say in offline examination, you go for the cheating, you may pass it, you may not pass it, you may go for UMC, but the good students were able to get the good scores, and that is what I feel advantage of the offline examination. But in online examination, and the things may be the reverse, in the sense that those who are good in cheating, they may get to they may become a topper. But in the offline examination, I see that those who are cheaters, they were only get to pass. They may not pass it,
Absolutely
because
true.
everywhere in every examination they may not have the same kind of the invigilator also. So that is what I feel is the difference. And secondly, as you said, the the students are on road, that they want the online examination. Even maybe a day before yesterday, the Supreme Court has given a verdict for offline examination. That means the people have gone up to the Supreme Court. It's not only the question that they gone to the road; they have gone up to the Supreme Court for this. So I don't know. I have also faced such a situation. I gave this option that, okay, if you want offline, I will give offline. If you want online, I will give the online. Same examination I conducted for offline, both mode, right? But I just want to tell you that only 20% of the student opted for online examinations. 80% opted for offline examination. And obviously the reasons go. And I tell you, the good students never opted for offline examination. Good students never opted for offline examination. They appeared for the offline examination, and there are obvious other reasons are, obviously we can talk about the digital divide. Everybody was saying that maybe we have the mobile, we are not having the laptop. Maybe we have the some internet connection, but we are not sure whether it will be continuous or not, right? And they were also afraid of, as we have discussed earlier, they were also afraid of that if we are using artificial intelligence or something like that, there are more chances of being caught than even in the offline examination. So that's the way I look at the offline examinations. Are I will say that's still better, and the online examination. You can use it for, maybe for online examination, when we use it for example, even if we using for even for CBSE, we are or NTA, they are using this examination through computer. That is, I will say, not only proctor, that is also with the invigilators. They are with the invigilators also. Both are there, right? Both are there. Then the the online things are useful. So we cannot deny that the digital infrastructure is very much required, and it has to be used. Otherwise, we will not be able to succeed. For example, if we are to conduct one exam for one examination for whole of the country, and then it may be difficult to do it when you say that you want to do it offline, and maybe you have, as said, you have the many questions, different students getting the different questions, and that is what is being done already. So I think the way we are progressing, and with the digital, I think we are learning a lot of things out of. Maybe tomorrow we have something in the new devices where you can have such kind of things inbuilt, where we can have 360 vision in the camera, as well as maybe the proctoring is there automatically within the system itself, rather than in the software itself. So the hardware, software, maybe modify both of them. Maybe you can have the better. So it is a beginning, because the pandemic has taught us to be assess the students through this. And the other question which we're talking about is you have the private universities and the government universities, and this kind of the students, obviously, if we look at government university, they are there are many scholarship holders. They are not even, I will say, they are not able to pay the fee, or they are not paying the fee because it's, and there are many students who are not able to, pay the fee. I am in the government university sometimes, we still we get so many requests. Now we have our fees are minimum, but we get so many requests that I am not able to pay. So there I see that, obviously putting them the additional digital infrastructure, this burden to the students may not really help them, because I always divide the students in two categories. We have the first, I will say the first generation students. The first generation students, those those parents are not even not graduates, right? So such students, may suffer because of this kind of a digital divide or so. But otherwise, if you have, the private universities, when you have the higher fee, we can expect that most of the parents will be also the educated ones, and that's maybe the percentage may be higher there. So that is the way I see that, the students' ability may have the different in the learning and assessment through the digital learning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. You rightly said. But I give an example that yes, it is not only with the government universities, in fact, in a private university as well. Yes. Like we have one university in a remotest part of the country, a place called Gango. It is really tough for the student to, pay the fees. That is a secondary issue. But yes, if you talk in terms of technology, data and everything, in many villages, still we are facing a lot of problems to getting internet access and all. Students have to come to a particular place if they want to attend a class or if you have to give an examination. Madam, I have a very, I'm reading a lot of reports time to time, and many places worldwide, the basic problem they are rising with the AI system is that sometimes it fails to recognize the face. Sometimes a wrong student, the people who are really not cheating, they will got punished because of that. So what we are going to, how we are going to handle such situation, because the students who are doing cheating, for him it's nothing, but student who work hard, who studied the whole year, and suddenly he got stuck or he got warning just because of some other reason. So what you say on that? How do you take this particular thing?
Yeah, yes, sir. So already I was mentioning about this. Because of our software solution. So the software solutions, what we are adapting nowadays from different vendors is not that much matured. So they are developing it, and there are a lot of algorithms have come up, and they are using advanced algorithms. Still, we need to wait for getting a complete product which you can able to suspect 100% and the people who are doing misuse in the examination, and that will take time. So in between, how we have from Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, how we have tackled this, we are giving another chance to the student. And if you find he is a really genuine candidate and his examination is blocked in between due to this, then we are giving another chance. So like that we have managed, and now the students also understood. So initially it was really, they were in between, if they struck, then they are restless and continuously they're sending mails, phone calls to us. Now they understood. So we are also sorting out the issues one by one, like other institutions, what they're doing. But this proctored examination, only in times of emergencies, this type of pandemic period, we can adapt. Otherwise, once it becomes normal, it is not required. It is not required. And as I told, we have to change our assessment methods slowly. Going with some universities are actually 100% marks, 100 marks they have to do through the evaluation of their written examination. So those things we have to change, because all the universities we are the autonomous university institution, at least they can able to do this type of new innovative assessment methodologies, so that we can able to really assess the students whether they understood the concept or not, rather than writing the monotonous things or writing mug up. That rote learning can be avoided. So we, as a technical institutions, mainly for engineering programs, so we wanted to see whether the student is able to identify complex engineering problems, or able to identify real-time problems, or he can able to solve, or he can able to suggest multiple solutions for the particular problem. So this capability we need to inbuild to our students. And this outcome-based education also keep insisting the institutions to practice this type of teaching methods as well as these assessment methods. And you know, AICTE is also coming out with the AICTE exam reform policy. If you go through this exam reform policy of AICTE, they released in 2018. It was well written, and it was getting circulated among all the institutions. I do not know how many institutions are following it. And it is purely based on outcome-based education, and how we need to assess the students, what are the performance indicators, and what are the competencies a student should have, and how we are going to assess the competencies. That was clearly written in this guideline. And as a administrative authorities, whom we are here, so you can straight away follow for engineering programs, I would say. So you can follow the exam reform policy, and if you follow that, these type of things will be very meager.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Professor Singh, see, NEP talks about blended learning. Do you think the future of assessment and examination is also blended?
Yeah, sir, this NEP 2020 is already saying we are talking about the academic bank credit and credit transfer policy. In that part, the evaluation system that nowadays we are doing on the semester-based system or annually in some part, there is a continuous needs. As in the future, we have to go the continuous assessment system. It may be in the form of a online assessment system, because it is not possible for a assessment on the offline mode. In that part, we have to inculcate in our, as per the national education policy, we have to adopt the blending mode of learning in the assessment also and in the learning also. Because as we are discussing about the ABC academic bank credit system and credit transfer policy for the different part, there may be a possibility. Without these blended mode of learning, we cannot go in this type of a system.
You're absolutely right, sir. That the blending learning is the future, and not only in education or learning, but we have to go with this in our assessment system. You know, with the entire discussion, because we are almost close to that of the time, and in the entire system, what I able to bring out of this discussion is that एक हिंदी में कहावत है, नकल के लिए भी अकल चाहिए. So with this online assessment system, with the AI, how many akal, how many intelligence is being used by the students or the candidates to give the examination? Sir, this is a thought we have to give it to the viewers. This is a thought we need to think about. And this is something which is very relevant. If any question from anybody in audience, or if you, now the session is open for all of us. If anybody wants to say something, please.
Sir, actually, to overcome these kind of challenges, the NEP is providing a margin, 40% of the course credits can be acquired online. And recently, the AICTE UGC also has revealed that around 900 autonomous colleges are allowed to offer online courses, open distance learning, courses or open courses. The students are given a lot of choices. The students are expected to come with, outcome-based learning. And there are so many things being offered from the National Education Policy 2020. I'm sure we are going to see a different, India in the days to come, with all that, expectations and all the proposals made in the policy becoming true. Only when all the educational institutions coming forward. As one of the co-speakers mentioned that there is a division, public sector, maybe government institutions, private institutions. Private institutions now may have one edge over the government institutions. You know, autonomy is there, flexibility is there, but payment, fee, the students are nowadays, most of the students are taking education loans and joining the institutions. So private universities also are not that much free to charge what are the fee possible. And no, it is very important to strike a balance between the affordability and the offerings from the university.
Absolutely, Professor Rao. Thank you very much. Sandeep, I feel that this is one of the most time managed panel. So now I'm over to you, please.
Absolutely, sir. And not only just time managed, I think this was also one of the most well conducted and well thought of panel, where the speakers had shared the eminence of and brought out the essence behind the topic, the motive of the topic that we had inculcated in. So it was a pleasure having all of you on board. And there is one small request that we have from the Universal Mentors Association side is to please support us. You can go ahead and like on our YouTube, channel, as well as do support our sponsors as well. Kindly spare 10 minutes of your time and visit the links that we have shared with you so that you could reach out to the sponsors and give just 10 minutes of your precious time to them and interact with them. That's all we ask from you, so that we could bring such even more of such amazing panels and amazing speakers on board, and the ecosystem of Universal Mentors Association flourishes. Thank you so much. It was indeed a wonderful panel. Have a great day ahead to all you wonderful speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, all the panelists. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.